Hey guys, today we're going to be ranking every single Funko action figure. So this video is going to be pretty long, so let's just get straight into it. Just going to clear this up. This is not including the 12 figures that are basically too similar to existing figures in order to actually fit in. So we're going to be doing the 36 unique figures in the Funko toy line. Alright, let's begin. Another note is that this does not include the Dreadbear figures since those aren't out yet. And maybe after the next few waves, I'll make an updated version of this list. So sadly, taking the number 34 spot on the list is Easter Bonnie. The inside of his mouth is like light pink. He's missing the tag on his ear. His eyes are completely undetailed, and overall, he's just a very bad-looking figure. Next up, we got Glamrock Chica. The body is pretty much perfect, but something definitely went wrong with the head. Yeah, those eyes do not look right. Yeah, not at all. Next up, we got Funtime Foxy from Wave 2. Nothing really wrong with this figure. It's just the fact that it exists instead of, like, Nightmare Fredbear or something. And also, those eyelashes just look horrendous. Next up, we got Vanny. The mold definitely had some effort put into it, but oh no, it does not look like Vanny at all. Next up, we got Lolbit. Pretty lazy figure. Just repainted Funtime Foxy. The white pupils are way too big, and they didn't even bother to remove the eyebrows. At least it has a hook, though. Next up is Lefty, same issue, didn't bother to make the nose any bigger, didn't bother to swap the hands, and overall just a pretty lazy figure, although the color scheme is pretty nice. Then right up after Lefty, we got Rockstar Freddy. I just don't like this figure's head mold. I think it looks pretty ugly, and it doesn't really look like Rockstar Freddy that much. Next up, we got Jacko Chica, no glow in the torso, the pumpkin kind of looks like crap, and yeah, just not a very great figure. Although, I do like Jacko Chica a lot, so this one gets the upper hand. Next up, we got El Chip. The sombrero's pretty cool, but he's just a pretty lame figure, like, just very unremarkable. Next up, we got Chocolate Chica. Detail's really cool, but just pretty forgettable. Then we got Roxanne Wolf. The proportions on the body are a little bit off, the keytar is a little too big, and the head sculpt is reused from Funtime Foxy in Wave 2. Also, her hair looks really, really bad. Next up, we got Glamrock Freddy. Proportions are extremely off on the body, although he can hold his microphone stand, which is really cool. And his head sculpt is completely reused from Funtime Freddy, which is lame. Next up, we got Montgomery Gator. Still the same problems that Rockstar Freddy has, although also the same pros, so I just think he's a little bit better. Next up, we got Sister Location Funtime Foxy. The sculpt is really good, but I'm really not liking the eyes, and also the weird decayed yellow color on the plates just looks off. Next up, we got Bonnie. I love the color scheme on this figure. I appreciate that it's not completely reused from Freddy, but the upper teeth do look pretty bad on this one especially. Next up, we got Baby. This figure would look way better if the faceplates were colored in, but even then, I don't think it would look too great. Also, she's too small. Then we got Nightmarian. Sculpt is pretty spot on, although this figure is very unstable, and there's no way to make him stand, so for that, I just kind of don't think he's that great. Next up, we got Chocolate Bonnie. He has upper teeth, and his color is way too dark, although the endoskeleton detail is very cool. Next up, we got Rockstar Foxy. Nothing really against this figure. I just think it's just pretty just uninteresting, really. I do like the parrot, though. Next up, we got Freddy. His pupils are too small, and he has these giant blocky upper teeth, and his ears are on the side of his head, and they stick out way too far. So, yeah, it was Funko's first figure, so I'm going to give him the upper hand, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but he is pretty off. Next up, we got Golden Freddy. Same problems that Freddy has, except for the eyes, but I do like this figure better than Freddy. Next up, we got Nightmare Chica. The one eye that should be gray is blue, and just the head shape is completely off, although I do like the Nightmare Cupcake a lot, and all the endoskeleton detail. Next up, we got Foxy. The only real, his head sculpt is a little off. It looks a little bit like the SFM model, but it's not bad. And he is a little too light orange, but they did reproduce him eventually, and they did make his color right. So Foxy's a pretty good figure. Next up, we got Ballora. I just don't really like Ballora that much, but I do appreciate this figure. I like how the base is. It's cool that it has a base, and yeah, pretty cool. Next up, we got Pig Patch. Not a very interesting character, but the sculpt is pretty spot on. Next up, we got Chocolate Freddy. I wish this character was in FNAF AR. He looks sick, and I love the endoskeleton. I love all the paint job. He looks great. Next up, we got Ennard. No wires sticking out of his body, no eyebrows. His hat is pretty undetailed, just pretty lame. Had a lot of potential, but just some very major parts missing. Next up, we got Nightmare Foxy. Pretty cool figure, no real complaints. I like how it looks. I like how one of his jaws sticks out further than the other. It's a nice detail. And overall, he just looks pretty good. Next up, we got Nightmare Bonnie. I like the eyes on this guy. I love how his endoskeleton is fully detailed in his torso. And yeah, overall, he just looks pretty good. The head does look a little bit off, but I don't know what. Then next up, we got Nightmare Freddy. Pretty cool figure. I like it a lot. And I do appreciate how the Freddo looks. And he just looks very cool. Next up, we got Springtrap. Very detailed for one of Funko's Funko's first buildable figure. Very detailed, very nice looking, and I really like this figure. He just looks great. Next up, we got Funtime Freddy. Literally, the only problem on this guy is that his hat is too big. That's it. Next up, we got Frostbear. Sculpt is basically perfect. The only problem is the color, but besides that, I think this is a pretty good figure. Then last up, we got Scrap Baby. This is the most detailed figure Funko has ever made, and the sculpt is spot on, and it's just crazy how Funko got Scrap Baby so spot on with such a complicated design. And that's gonna conclude my ranking of all of the FNAF figures. That was quick. I speed ran that. That was a speed run. But hope you guys enjoyed, and let's make the video a little longer, shall we? So now we're actually going to be ranking all my custom action figures, because this video wasn't quite as long as I wanted it to be, so I'm going to be trying to do this too, just to extend the video a little bit, give you guys a little more content. So, yeah, number 10 on the list is going to be Shadow Bonnie. I don't really like this figure that much looking back at it. I mean, it's alright, although, like, it is just Bonnie, but spray painted black, and then I painted the eyes and teeth. I didn't really do a whole lot, but hey, I was just kind of testing spray paint, seeing if it could work with the figures, and it definitely did. Then number 9 is going to be Fredbear. A lot of people didn't like this custom because it wasn't so accurate and stuff, but I still like it. I like what I did with it. I get why people didn't like it, though, since it isn't accurate, but it's not trying to be, but yeah, Fredbear is going to be the next on the list. And then number 8 is going to be Game Accurate Freddy. I definitely could have done the eyes a little better on this guy, and yeah, I don't know, he's just pretty uninteresting, but hey, he was my first custom, so whatever. Then number 7 on the list is going to be Phantom Freddy. The reason I put Phantom Freddy here is because he's just kind of Freddy, but with Sharpie on him, and I do think the eyes look pretty neat, though. And then after Phantom Freddy, we got Burnt Foxy from FNAF Help Wanted. This figure was, for some reason, voted. You guys had Radioactive Foxy, Phantom Foxy, Big Bad Foxy, and Burnt Foxy to vote from. And you picked the burnt one. But yeah, I still think this custom turned out pretty good. He's just not very interesting. Then we got Chica, or Phantom Chica, and I really like how this one turned out. It's got that classic watermelon look to it. I like how I did the legs and the beak. And then also, she's got the Phantom Cupcake. And then after Phantom Chica, we got Melted Chocolate Bonnie. This is my first custom sculpt. And yeah, he was my first custom sculpt. Then we got Nightmare Fredbear. He's not really trying to be accurate. People didn't like him for the same reasons they didn't like the original Fredbear. But hey, a lot of people still really like this one just because of how cool he looks compared to like the original. I made him out of a classic Freddy figure, so he's very different. I completely resculpted him. And then after that, we got Withered Bonnie, who I put a lot of effort into him. You know, I like how I did the face. I think that turned out really good. The hand definitely could be a little better, but the endo foot I think looks pretty decent. And yeah, overall, I think Withered Bonnie's just solid. And everybody I ask who's my best custom, most of them would say Black Ice Frostbear, because look at this dude. He looks like if I don't know if Funko would make him like this, but I still really like how this guy turned out. I think he's one of my best customs, and yeah, that's my custom ranking. The video is officially completed.